So I'm gonna just turn off the camera now and share the screen with you. So how it should have been. It should have been a completely live session where I was to analyze the websites of yours, actually, by SEMrush. But organizers were very kind to provide me with a couple of domains for analysis. And since it goes not exactly as planned, I'm going to do a quick demo of SEMrush first, so that you can see all the power of it. And then I'm going to switch to website analysis. So I hope it will be interesting. And after that, after my session, I'm going to be sharing a promo code with you for 2 weeks of Guru access, of course, so that you can try it out yourself. So let me start. Let me start with SEMrush demo, and hopefully, if you have any questions, you'll be free to ask them after the session. So I hope you can see my screen, and that's the dashboard of SEMrush. So again, as I mentioned before, I'm going to start with a quick demo to show you just the main tools which are here to help you overcome your competitors in search. So I've started with a quick analysis of one of the biggest retailers, I believe, in Turkey. So just to give you a great example. So here, when you type the domain in, you can see some main data for a domain. You can see organic traffic, paid traffic. You can see the number of backlinks, organic and ads keywords, where they are present in different countries. So you can see your presence on different markets, actually. And you can scroll down and see, all the info about top organic keywords or top organic competitors. But I'm going to show you a couple of reports which will be of a huge help to you if you decide to analyze your site and, of course, the site of your competitors with SEMrush. So here, the first report that I'm going to show you is called Positions, and it's very helpful. It shows you all the keywords for which your domain or domain of your competitor, it's of course up to you which domain to analyze, gets in top 20 results. So we get our data only from 2 first pages of Google, so it's always top 20. Anyways, you can see the number of keywords for which this domain ranks. You can see the amount of traffic which this domain gets, and the traffic cost, which means how much this domain would spend in Google AdWords if they decided to buy this amount of traffic via Google AdWords. So, anyways, it's a great source of getting all the keywords for which your competitor gets organic traffic, because of course, via Google Analytics you can get this data for your competitors, or if you analyze your own site and you have this not provided keywords in Google Analytics, you can see all of them here in the organic positions report. So it's quite useful. You can always export this if you need this. But the most useful report, since SEMrush is all for competitive research, is of course the competitors. And here we have all the guys who rank for the same set of keywords as the domain that we're looking at. So that means they are sharing a space on SERP, on Search Engine Results page, and that's why it's quite important to find out the keywords for which they rank as well. So here we have the list of all the domains which are competitors of ours, and what we can do here, we can simply take a look at them and find out who is our competitor if we don't know them. But what's more interesting here is we can see the number of common keywords which we share between us. So it's quite useful, and if you click on this, on the number of common keywords, you will go straight to domain versus domain tool. You can find it out right there under the tools section. It's called, again, domain versus domain. And it allows you to compare up to 5 different domains, both in organic search, in paid search, and in PLAs. I'm going to get back to that a little bit later. So here you can see not only the common keywords between these 2 domains as we do now. You can see the domain and competitor of it, and the keyword and positions of our domain and of our competitors. So you can see, where your positions are a little bit higher than your competitors or not. You can also take the charts to see where you guys overlap. But what's more important, you can see not only the common keywords, but unique keywords as well. And it's very useful. You simply, for example, we simply choose the right here, which is unique keywords to the first domain. And we put our competitor on the first place. And then we'll be looking at all the keywords for which our competitor ranks, but we do not rank. And it's super useful. It's like a niche in which you should get into. So it's very important. And feel free to use this domain versus domain tool to find out the keywords for which your competitors rank, but you do not rank. And then you can export all these keywords and find the new ideas for your content. So it's quite useful. So I've mentioned that you can compare the domains not only in organic but in paid search and in PLAs as well. So I'm going to get to the ads research right here. So we gather data from Google AdWords as well, and from Google Shopping, as I've already mentioned. So here in the advertising research, there it is in the ads research. You can see the number of keywords for which your competitor bids on Google AdWords. You can see the amount of traffic that your competitor gets via Google AdWords. And you can see its monthly AdWords budget, which is also very important. You can see what amount of money he spends on Google AdWords per month. It's quite useful, and you can see how this, for example, if we change right here to the traffic cost, you can see how the amount of money changed over time. And apparently, this domain started a huge PPC campaign just this month. So right here, we can see not only all the keywords on which this guys bid, but we can also see the copy of the ad, which is, of course, quite cool. So you can get ideas for your own PPC campaign from here. But more than that, we have two reports which are also extremely helpful in ads research. One of them is called Ads Copies. So here we have, it's quite self-explanatory actually. Here we have the copies of all the ads of this domain, so you can get a great overview of someone's PPC campaign. You can see what products they try to push and what they try to sell most, what discounts they provide, for example. So you can see all the copies of all of their ads, and you can see the keywords which triggered this particular ad. So you can, again, see their whole PPC campaign just in one click. It's very useful. And the next report which we have, again, in advertising research, it's called Ads History. And it's also quite cool. We have here the list of all the keywords on which this domain was bidden over the past 12 months. So it's a yearly data, and you can see not only the keyword on which it bid, but you can see also the copy of the ad and the position of on the SERP right there. You can see that, for example, for this keyword, this domain was on the first position over the past year. And you can see how they have changed over time, whether they have changed their special offers. So it's, again, very useful. And then let's go to PLAs. It's product listing ads. So it's quite important for you if you are an online retailer, for example. So PLA or Google Shopping ads is a way for online retailers to advertise their products. That's why it's called product listing ads. And here we have, again, the list of all the keywords on which this domain was bidden in PLAs. And again, we can see exactly how the product looked like, the product which they tried to sell, which they advertised on. And you can see not only the photo of the product, but you can also see the title of it. And you can see the price in national currency, actually. So you can, with this report, you can also find out the price politics of your competitor, which is quite important. And you can take a look at the PLA copies as well, and you can see all the products which your competitors try to push via PLA, try to sell most. So it may give you an idea on the trends or on what's popular at the moment, what you can sell to. And of course, you can take a look at the price of this product at which your competitor sells us, and maybe try to correct your price according to this. So that's very short. It was a quick tour over our analytics reports, organic research, paid research, and PLA research. But we also have a great set of tools, and here's when it gets more interesting. So Yep, there it is. So tools, or we can say projects too, I believe. So projects, with our project system, you can set up a project for your domain or for your competitor, but better for your domain, of course, because it's more for your own analytics. So you set up a project for your domain, and then you're free to set up one of 4 entities. It can be a site audit, position tracking, SEO ideas, and social media tool. And I'm going to tell about each of those a little bit later. So here, since we have a website clinic session, we're gonna spending more time on research and site audit, of course, but I'm gonna mention position check and social media tool a bit later. So let's start with the domains that I have for my analysis. And the first domain is this. It's quite cute, and apparently it's a everything you need for a wedding. It's very nice, and recently being in bride myself, I can already see how important this may be for future wives. It's very cute. So let's take a look at the site audit of this domain. Let's see what we have there. So apparently, here's how a overview of site audit looks like, and it's very simple. It gives you right away, it gives you the most important info on how healthy your site is. So 71%, it's actually it's quite great. What's over 70 is already very good. So here we can take a look at all the issues that this site has, and they are divided into 3 categories: errors, warnings, and notices. So errors are the ones which you should fix first because they have a huge impact on your rankings. Then we have warnings, which are not so important, and notices, which are just to let you know. So let's dive into the issues and see what we have there. So apparently for this domain, we can see that 83 external images are broken. And well, of course, it's of course you know what it means, but just to make sure, it's an image that can be displayed because it no longer exists, or probably because the URL is misspelled. But as I can see here, apparently it was some storage for images, which, let me try and open this URL. Yep, there it is. But it gives us this error code, which apparently seems that our site audit bot doesn't have a rights for looking at this picture. So since we know that it's not quite an issue, you can see the URL. We can see the image is completely all right. We just have this authorization error. We can simply hide this issue from the reports. If we know that it's not quite an issue, we can simply hide it right there, and it's not going to bother you anymore. But let's go back to the issues again and see that 2 pages have duplicate meta description. Let's take a look at this. And of course, you know that meta description includes a summary of web page content, and it should be unique, because it's having duplicate meta description tags makes it difficult for search engines to distinguish between different web pages. So it's better to have no meta description than to have a duplicate one. So it's quite important to fix, because you can see that here in the warnings we actually have let me find it out. Yeah, like 0 pages have no meta description, and it's not an error, it's a warning which doesn't have a huge impact on your rankings, and that's why it's better to have no meta description tag than to have a duplicate of it. So anyway, what we have here in the warnings, we have some alt attributes. Again, I'm not sure it should bother anyone, because if we take a look at this picture, they're quite small, and I'm not sure they have. I'm not sure it's going to have a huge impact, anyways. But still, it's quite good to have alt attributes, so don't forget about that. What else? We can see that on some pages there are too many on-page links, and we think that there are too many if it's more than 100, and believe me, it's too much. 184, not a good example. Let's take a look at this. Yep, there it is. Yeah, probably not a very good example of web page. I mean, yeah, in some situations it might be useful, but still 884 links, not very good. So let's go back to the warnings again. So we see that one page have a slow loading speed, and I have a great tool to show you for a site speed, but I guess I'm going to show it to you a little bit later. So what other tools we can use to take a look at our domains, to analyze our domains? The one which I really like is called SimilarWeb. You probably heard about this too. It's a view of a domain. It tells it also tells you traffic estimations. It tells you from which commercial. And what's interesting, yeah, there it is. So it's social traffic that we're going to take a look at now. So here we can see that this domain gets almost % of traffic via social media, and 87% of this it gets from Facebook. And in SEMrush, we actually have a tool for social media too. So let's go back to the project. And I've already set up a social media tool for this domain. It gathers data from Facebook, from Twitter, and Google+, and it gathers data not only for your domain, but for your competitors as well. So let me show you how it looks like. Yep, there it is. So here it gathers, again, data from 3 main social networks. And you can see some main information for your social profiles: number of page likes on Facebook, number of followers on Twitter, number of followers on Google+. And you can see the engagement rate, just in case you need this. But the report that I like the most is called activity report, and it shows you the posts which have it's sorted by the total engagement. So if you set up your social media campaign and you add competitors to this, then via this activity report, you'll be able to find out the new ideas for your social media posts, because the posts that gathered the most engagement in your competitors' social media networks probably will gather more engagement in your social media profile as well. So with this report, with the activity report, you can get great new ideas for your own social media campaign. So let's move to our next example, which is Ideasoft. It's apparently a software development company, and as far as I understood, it's quite according to this, it's quite well, the brand name is quite strong, but even if the brand name is strong, you still have to care for health and visibility. So let's take a look at the site audit of this domain as well. And here's the situation is not so good as it was with the previous domain. The total score is only 52%, which is not very good. We have a huge amount of errors and warnings. So let's take a look at what we have there. So we can see that internal links are broken, almost 1,000 of them. And well, you may, of course, understand that it's bad not only for user experience, but for search engines as well. So it can definitely lead to the loss of traffic to your website. So you should definitely fix this. And of course, if you click on this particular issue, you'll be able to see what pages, like 404, I found it. Let's take a look at this. Yep, there it is, 404. It's quite easy to fix. Just remove those links from your page. So of course there is a ton of them, almost 7, but it's definitely worth the time to spend, to remove the things from your page than have the loss of traffic. What else do we have here? We have almost 30 pages that have duplicated content issues. So it means that content of a page is very similar or identical to the content found on another page. The problem here is that duplicated web pages are competing against each other for higher positions in search results. Therefore, they also divide the weight of backlinks, they divide the visits instead of accumulating weight for just one page. So it's definitely negatively impacts a web page ranking. So get rid of those duplicate content issues is quite vital. And I'm going to show you one more tool, which is not actually, it's not for finding duplicate content on your page, but it is for finding duplicate content on your competitor's page. So you can search with this copyscape.com. It's quite useful. You can search for copies of your page on the web, so you can see who else is there on the web having the same content as you have. So you simply type your landing page right here, and you can see all the pages which have the same text, which have the same content as your page. So they are like the copies of yours. And it's quite important to see to watch for duplicate content, not only on your site, but probably see who else is trying to use your content on their sites as well. So it's quite important. So let's go back to the issues. What else we have here? Again, external broken links, duplicate meta descriptions. It's quite common actually, but again, it's very easy to fix. It's very easy to fix. Oh, and yeah, by the way, we have pages with the same meta description on HTTP and HTTP app. Not sure if it's an issue or not. So, anyways, let's go back to the list of all the issues, and what else we can take a look at here. Again, some images don't have attributes, they don't have meta descriptions. Yeah. Oh, you can't? Okay, let me try it once again. Well, that happens, Skype is... I love Skype. Okay. There you go. Yes. Better? Yes. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So let's move to the next example. It's one video. .com. Apparently it's a news site. Yep, there it is. And for this domain, I'm not going to actually focus on the site Audit, but I'm going to show you one tool which may also be helpful. Well, as far as I understand, for a news site, it's very, very important to be mobile friendly, mobile optimized, because you know perfectly well that more and more traffic is generated via mobile devices. So here we have a great tool from Google developers. It's called Mobile Friendly Tests. And so what you do is simply type the URL, your landing page right here, and click Analyze. And this tool analyzes how mobile friendly your site is. But unfortunately, it analyzes not the whole domain of yours, but only one landing page. But still, if you do this analysis for the home page, it's still going to give you a great understand how friendly your site is for mobile devices. So yeah, please see how this page looks on mobile devices. It's quite cool. So feel free to use this Google Developers Mobile Friend. Then we can move to our next example. It's apparently it's a online marketing blog. Yep. Oh, something familiar here. So it's an online marketing blog, and let's take a look at this site Audits right there. Quite good total score. But let's take a look at the issues that we have. I've mentioned before that I'm going to be showing a tool for finding out how to increase the speed of your site. And right here, we actually have this one page that has a slow loading speed. And when you see this error in SEMrush, you can only see the load time. You can only see how much time it takes to load the page. But if you want to But if you want to get more details on this, you can use this page speed insights to analyze. Yeah.
Your screen now shows just the Google Page Speed test. You can see the other two.
Oh yeah, that's it actually. I'm gonna switch to. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So for this domain, since it has a slow loading speed, this Google Page Speed Insights is great for finding out not only what you should fix, but how you should do this, because it tells you. This tool, you probably are familiar with this. It's Google Page Speed Insights, and it gives you ideas both for your mobile and desktop versions. So you can see the speed, the quality of the speed of your site. And you can see not only what you should fix, but again, how to fix this. So it's quite great for optimizing your site even more. For example, even if everything else is already fixed, then loading speed is still quite important. So what we have today. If you'd like to analyze your site, I would suggest you to use, of course, SEMrush Site Audit to give a great to get a great overview of all the issues that you have. Again, you can get the list of all of those errors. You can export this in PDF, you can export this in CSV, just in case you need this info. But apart from SEMrush, I would suggest you to use this. Google Developers Page Speed Insights and mobile-friendly test, just to make your site even better. And now, as promised before, I'm going to share with you a promo code for 2 weeks of Guru SEMrush access. There it is. I hope you can see it well. So you can go to promo.semrush.com and activate it. It's right there. It's going to give you, again, 2 weeks of Guru SEMrush accesses. You'll be able to analyze your own site inside Audit. And of course, you'll be able to use all the other possibilities of SEMrush to get ahead of your competitors. So feel free to activate it. And if you have, I hope you've already taken a picture of it. And if you will have any additional questions, you can see my contact details right there. Feel free to get in touch via email or via Twitter, and I'll be happy to help. Thank you very much. Just again, if there would be any questions, feel free to get in touch via email or Twitter. And here's the promo code once again, just in case you didn't have time to take a picture of it. So feel free to activate it and have a great experience with SEMrush.
Thank you for joining us, Elizaveta. We really appreciate to see you in virtual format. That's completely okay, and hope to see you in SEOs on the next year.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.